Lord. Woo!
Hey everyone, welcome to Brothers of the Woods Outdoors. I'm Dave Bunnell and this is my good buddy Jim Davis.
Hey, up first this week, we're headed to Dodders County with Team Jordan, and Nathan's on the gun and he's got his dad Corey behind the camera.
Hi, I'm Nathan with Team Jordan with Brothers of the Woods Outdoors. It's opening day of turkey season. We got out in the blind a little bit late. We have one goblin up here on the hill. Let's see if we can make something happen. Thank you for watching Brothers of the Woods Outdoors TV.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Nathan, what just happened?
So we had one earlier and they came in and we spooked it. And then just a little bit ago, it's 7:30. And now what time is it?
It is 8:02.
Yeah, and at 8:02 he just came back, another one just came back in. And he came in at 30, like 20 yards.
Popped up right in our decoy.
Our decoy, and I just shot him. He dropped. I don't think I can walk.
What do you think? Want to go check him out?
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Nathan with Team Jordan with Brothers of the Woods Outdoors. Earlier this morning, we spooked one right off the roost, and then wasn't even 15 minutes after that this one gobbled not 30 yards away from us, right past the decoys, and it was a mad scramble to get all the cameras on and get the gun out the window, and we didn't even have time to get the secondary camera on, and luckily he walked behind the decoy long enough for me to get my gun up so I could get a shot. And we would like to thank Apex Ammunition for Scent Lock and our Hardy's Custom Game Calls. Thank you for watching Brothers of the Woods Outdoors TV.
Man, Dave, another father-son hunt. I tell you what, if you turkey hunted long enough, you've been caught off guard by a big gobbler like that.
When that bird gobbled 30 yards away, you could hear the excitement in their voice, but they were able to get it done.
Yes, they did. Hey, up next, we have a new segment called Ask the Pro Staff, and it's coming up right after the break.
Mahindra's the official tractor of tough, right, Chase?
Yep, that's right, Tony.
This baby's got 4,000 pounds of front-end lift capacity, right?
It sure does.
So who's tougher, kid? Me or you?
You are, Tony. Can you put me down now?
What? You want to go higher? Okay.
I said down, you old goat.
I am the goat.
Mahindra, the official tractor of Tough and Stuart Haas Racing.
Come on, Tony, put me down.
When it comes to business, we all have areas of specialty, but there are times when we need guidance. We need someone to come along and show us the most creative and environmentally safe way to navigate our engineering challenges. That's where we come in. CEC stands for Civil and Environmental Consultants. You show us the problem, we'll provide you with the solution. Visit wearecec.com. Big firm capabilities, small firm culture.
Hey guys, my name's Tanner Burns. I'm the owner and operator of Full Draw Taxidermy in Buchanan, West Virginia. We specialize in wild turkey taxidermy, so I hope you'll consider us for some of your mounts this spring. You can check out pictures of our work on Facebook and Instagram and follow along with us this spring. Good luck this hunting season, and God bless.
It's time to check out a true power player during Ram Truck Month at Country Club Chrysler. Ram 1500 makes easy work of your towing, hauling, and performance needs.
Hi, I'm Eli Game with Brothers of the Woods Outdoors. When we went hunting for a new truck, it was a straight shot to Country Club Chrysler.
You can explore all the Ram options and custom order a new truck just the way you want it. Country Club Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Our temporary location is routes 19 and 98 south of Clarksburg. Why would you want to go anywhere else?
Hey, if you'd like to follow along with the Brothers of the Woods Outdoors team throughout the entire year, be sure to check us out on all our social media outlets. A few weeks ago, we asked our social media page, West Virginia Turkey Hunters, to come up with questions that they would like to have answered by our pro staff.
Yeah, Jim, we run a page called the West Virginia Turkey Hunters, WV Turkey Hunters. It's a private group that has over 4,000 members. If you're not a member and you turkey hunt in West Virginia, please join. We do a lot of great things. Every year we try to give away a lifetime hunting and fishing license to a youth that lives in West Virginia on youth weekend of turkey season.
Hey, our first question comes from Matthew Polk. After you hear the first gobble, how much closer do you try to get before setting up?
I like to get at least 100 yards from him, if not closer. I like to push the issue probably a little bit too far sometimes, but I think the closer I am, the better my odds.
Typically, I like to get within 80 to 100 yards. All depends on where I'm at and what the terrain looks like, but mostly it's 80 to 100 yards.
So it all depends on if I know where the bird is roosted or not, because in the hills of West Virginia, you know how the gobbles bounce off the hills. So if I know where he's roosted, I'd like to get within 100, but if I don't know exactly where he's roosted, I try to stay out and let him fly down before I make a move on him.
Usually if I'm in the woods in the morning, I try to get in within 100 yards of a bird, but most of the time I'm a late morning person, so that's usually what I do.
You know, typically I like to get to 80 to 100 yards like most hunters. However, if it's a windy day, I'm probably going to sit down right there because that gobbler is going to be a whole lot closer than what you think he is.
For me, it depends on the lighting conditions. You know, if it's dark enough, I'm going to move in pretty close. You know, if the foliage is heavy, I'm going to move in even closer. I really like to get tucked in tight on them.
Our second question comes from Stan Seckman II. What do you do on silent mornings? Run and gun or sit and be patient?
Run and gun, definitely, if you've got the property. If you've got enough ground where you can take off and go and call down some different hollers, some different ridges, and try to get a bird to respond, I think your chances are going to be a lot better than just sitting in one spot.
For me, it all depends on who I'm with and what we're going on. If I got one of the kids with a wife, I'm going to tuck myself in a ground blind somewhere and just wait because I know I got birds in the area. But if I'm hunting by myself, I'm going to be hitting the ridges, covering as much ground as I can.
So I'm definitely more of a running gunner. I'm not real patient, so I'll try to cut the distance on a bird if he's gobbling. If he's not gobbling, I just try to get to a place where I know turkeys are frequently at and just sit there and be patient and hopefully one comes through. But if I got one gobbling a ways off, I'll definitely cut the distance on him.
I like to run and gun, but sometimes I'll set my decoys out and just kick back and relax and make some soft purrs and clucks and hope that the birds will come in silent.
Oh, I'm definitely going to run and gun. I believe, you know, the more ground you cover, the better chance you have of finding that one gobbler who's hot.
Well, that all depends on, how many gobblers I think I got in the area. If I got a lot of birds in the area, I'm probably going to run and gun. If I'm hunting an area where there's not very many birds, I'm probably going to go get in an area where I know he's at, and I'm going to sit down and just do some soft calling. Our third question comes from Robert Bragg. What do you do with that 9 a.m. gobbler that hangs up at 150 yards? Do you move? Do you try to close the distance? Or do you change up calls?
I probably do both. I'm going to move on him, and I'm probably going to change up calls also. Typically, I'm just going to try to wait him out. I've had pretty good success in the past, just sitting tight, changing calls, trying to just wait him out and see if he'll come around. If not, then I'll make a move.
So it all depends on the terrain and if I know if he has hens with him or not. If the terrain allows it, I'll get close as possible before starting to call again. If I know he has hens, I'm just going to wait and try to wait those hens out until they leave him.
Usually I'll listen and make a couple calls, and when he gobbles, I'll figure out what he's doing and see if he has some hens with him. Sometimes the way they gobble in different directions will let you know this, and that'll give you an idea whether to get up and go after him or just sit still.
If he hangs up out there at 150 yards, I'm probably going to move to within about 100 or 80 yards, especially if there's a lot of foliage on the trees. And then I'm going to do some soft calling. Once I get his attention, I'm mainly going to go to like purring and scratching in the leaves.
Well, I'm definitely going to try to close the distance on him a little bit, but if I can't get him to break, probably going to come back and hunt him another day.
Many West Virginians know me as an avid outdoorsman and a strong supporter of your Second Amendment right to bear arms. Another right that I'm passionate about is an American worker's right to a safe workplace. The law requires employers to provide their employees with working conditions free of known dangers. If you are injured by a known danger in the workplace, call us. Warner Law Offices. Small firm, big results.
D. Reynolds Gun Range, your go-to location for the shooting sports. Fun for the whole family. Open Wednesday through Sunday. Enjoy multi-station trap shooting, pistol range, long-range shooting out to 400 yards, indoor climate-controlled benches, target camera system, archery range with elevated stand. Monthly and yearly memberships are available at the outdoor store. Make sure to check out the new and used guns while you're there. D. Reynolds Gun Range, your home for the shooting sports.
Jake from State Farm. I would like to formally extend my gratitude for the Russell rate on my insurance.
Do you mean surprisingly great rates from State Farm?
I don't believe in accepting help, but I'll make an exception.
Here's the deal, Russell. There's no special rate. These prices are for everyone.
Consider us square. I made that from memory. I know your face that well.
For surprisingly great rates and great service, call State Farm agent Brad Wilt in Doddridge County today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
With the shortage of real estate today, never settle for just listing your property. You need the competition of auction that Joe Arpaio can bring. When we were called to sell the contents of the Shepherd home, we learned that they were advised to list it for $385,000. They chose Joe Arpaio Auctions, and we sold it for $539,000. Call 855-JOE-WILL today to sell yours.
175 175 owner, and 175 175.
Hi, I'm Todd Linker with Linker Tax Service. We do accounting, tax, payroll, and more. If you need someone to prepare your taxes for you or your business this year, stop by or give us a call, 304-657-2860. We do taxes.
Nothing's tougher than a Mahindra tractor.
Except a bigger Mahindra tractor.
Pound for pound, this one's still tougher. Tough. Tougher. Tough. Tougher.
Mahindra, the official tractor of Tough and Stewart Haas Racing.
For this week's tip, we're going to head out in the field with pro staffer Gary Shepard.
Gary Shepard here with the Brothers of the Woods Outdoors. It's about 12:30 and I'm finishing up the first morning of turkey season. Unfortunately, I didn't tag out today, but I'm going to try to get out there and get some turkeys. We've got 4 I did have a pretty good morning. I worked some birds early. I wanted to share with you a little tip of something I've tried in the past that's worked for me several times. Just like this morning, I worked these birds early. They were answering me, gobbled quite a bit, but I could hear hens with them. And they flew down, they gobbled a few more times, but the whole group went away. So, by 8 o'clock it was over, and they were with their hens, and they were happy. And so I went ahead and made a big loop out around the ridge and did some calling and tried to, strike another bird, but I didn't have any luck. But what I like to do in a case like that is I'll try to end up right back where I was this morning around 10:30, 11 o'clock. Sometimes the hens have left that gobbler, and he's lonely, and he remembers you calling this morning, and then he hears you call again. Sometimes he's pretty easy to deal with. So just a little something you can try. You have nothing to lose. You're on your way out anyway. And hopefully in the future that'll work for you.
And I'm Eli Gain, and that is your CEC Tip of the Week.
Brothers of the Woods Outdoors is brought to you by Mahindra of Clarksburg, your home of the world's #1 selling tractor.
Our next question comes from Cordell Stewart. Do you use decoys much in early season? Do you use a gobbler setup with hens or rely on your calls?
I always have decoys with me. I would feel crazy going out without my decoys. So yes, I always use them. Early season, late season, doesn't seem to matter with me. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. You just never know.
I carry decoys with me every day, but more than likely I don't use them. It just depends on what the temperament of the birds is. I've had birds come in and shy away from them, so I'm kind of 50-50 on what way to use these, but I'm not a big person on using strutter decoys because I don't have much luck with them.
So I don't carry any decoys at all, mainly just because I don't like carrying them and stuff. I'm more of a run and gun person, so I don't use any decoys.
I usually use a strutter and a hen. This usually gets the older, more dominant birds to come in. If that fails, then I usually put the decoys up and go with that.
I'm going to use decoys pretty much all the time, especially early season when I'm really starting to learn these birds. I'm going to use a strutter and a lay down hen. I feel that strutter will attract gobblers from farther away because they can see it. And if I don't kill that gobbler the first time, then I won't use the strutter and I'll just use my lay down hen.
I'll tell you what, I'm a big decoy user. I like to use a strutter decoy and a hen. Just helps in filming situations and draws them in. Question 5 from Joseph Bowling. How much has using a strutter decoy improved your success in taking bigger gobblers?
I only have a half strut Jake decoy that I've used with great success. I've also had times where it seemed like I felt like maybe it was threatening even to an adult gobbler. So here again, you never know. Every bird's different. But I do like to use the half strut Jake decoy.
It hasn't increased my odds any because I don't use one. I haven't had any luck with them, so I just don't use them. I carry just a plain Jake decoy and a hen decoy.
So I don't use decoys. And I have in the past, and I've just not had success, and it's not hurt me one way or another. I just don't like carrying them.
It's improved my success. I enjoy using the strutter. It's a little bit of extra work carrying it around, but it usually attracts the more dominant birds in on your set.
Since I've started using the strutter, I've definitely killed older, mature gobblers. Yeah, I may not call in some younger gobblers, but since I've started using the strutter, they definitely have longer spurs, I can tell you that.
A strutter decoy has increased my success exponentially. Now, whether I could say it's made me kill a lot of bigger gobblers, I don't know, but it definitely draws in the gobblers.
And our last and final question comes from Scotty Taylor. What's your favorite way to hunt highly pressured gobblers?
I've hunted a few of them, and normally I'll try to get in here again close as I can possibly get and call very, very little, very, very softly. If you can get him to respond one time, sometimes it's best to sit quiet and not even call anymore.
Being patient, try to get a bird to answer you, call lightly, call sparingly, and just see if he's going to make his way into your setup.
So I try to find more where they're roosting and get in there with them in the morning, even if they're not gobbling in the evening before. I try to get in there and get as close as possible if I know exactly where they're probably going to go when they go down, because if they're not answering calls, there's really no way to hunt them other than that.
I usually like to just sit back and relax in the mid-mornings and do light calling.
Hunting highly pressured gobblers. You know, I do a lot of running gunning, so I'm probably not hunting a lot of highly pressured gobblers because I'm looking for that one gobbler who's going to talk and play the game. But if I'm hunting highly pressured gobblers, you know, I'm just going to do a lot of purring and scratching in the leaves when I hear that gobbler, and just hopefully, you know, somebody hasn't used that tactic on him and I'm going to be able to kill him.
My favorite way to hunt highly pressured gobblers is probably just, you know, preseason scouting, hopefully, and I know where he's at. I'm going to try to get in tight on him and do some soft calling.
When it comes to business, we all have areas of specialty, but there are times when we need guidance. We need someone to come along and show us the most creative and environmentally safe way to navigate our engineering challenges. That's where we come in. CEC stands for Civil and Environmental Consultants. You show us the problem, we'll provide you with the solution. Visit wearecec.com. Big firm capabilities, small firm culture.
It's time to check out a true power player during Ram Truck Month at Country Club Chrysler. Ram 1500 makes easy work of your towing, hauling, and performance needs.
Hi, I'm Eli Game with Brothers of the Woods Outdoors. When we went hunting for a new truck, it was a straight shot to Country Club Chrysler.
You can explore all the Ram options and custom order a new truck just the way you want it. Country Club Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Our temporary location is routes 19 and 98 south of Clarksburg. Why would you want to go anywhere else?
Brothers of the Woods Outdoors is brought to you by Mahindra of Clarksburg and these fine sponsors. Closed captioning has been brought to you by Civil and Environmental Consultants Incorporated.
Hey guys, Jim Davis and Dave Bonnell, and today we're at the National Wild Turkey Federation Convention in Nashville, Tennessee, and what a show that is.
Man, Jim, you as a turkey hunter, if you've never been here, it is a bucket list item for sure. This place is amazing. However, Jim and I are going to walk around and we're going to see if we can't get some of the legends of turkey hunting to answer the same questions that we just asked our pro staff.
Yeah, we're going to see how their answers stack up against our answers.
After you hear that first gobble, how much closer do you get before setting up?
Well, you know, I like to make sure I got a good crow call or a good owl call, and I just like keep moving and moving. And see, that's a hard question to answer because if you talk about early season, there's not much foliage on the trees, and the turkey's up there and he can see you coming. But later on towards the end of the season, you got a lot of leaves, so you might could get within 50 yards of a turkey. So that's something that you got to learn through experience, and you know, but certainly turkey hunting's about a game that, you know, it's about calling. So certainly set up and give him opportunity to come to you. Don't run him off. And so I'm gonna say as a rule of thumb, 150 to 200 yards.
What do you do on silent mornings? Run and gun or sit and be patient?
Yeah, I'm not a sit and be patient guy by any stretch of them. I just can't do it. I always feel like, you know, there's some mornings they ain't gonna gobble. I don't care. But I'm always thinking, man, there's one over there on so-and-so's lease or down there on that 40 acres. So I'm moving. I'll give it a little while, but I'm always searching for that one that's got his window open.
What do you do with that 9 a.m. gobbler that hangs up at 150 yards? Do you move? Do you try to close the distance? Or do you change up your calls?
If you got a gobbler that hangs up on you at 9 o'clock in the morning, I like to get behind my decoy and start crawling. You know, make a visual on him, read his body language, and then put a move on them. You know, these quarter strut decoys that we've got now, if you're hunting on private land and you know it's safe, you can get in behind one of those decoys and do some crawling. Get in the timber, flash it a little bit here, a little bit there, and kind of make them mad and try to make them close that distance. That's what I do on a hung up gobbler at 9 in the morning.
Do you use decoys much in the early season? Do you use a gobbler setup with hens or rely just on your call?
Well, you know, that just depends on, you know, where, if you hunting in a high pressured area, you know, a lot of times decoys can hurt you because people use them so much, and that old gobbler might have had his brother shot right out from under him right there. So really, I think that depends on where you're at. But if I had to look at decoys, you know, you versus hens, or, you know, I love like an Avian X hen and Avian X Jake, and it's real colorful, and I don't get paid nothing from them, but that is a great working decoy, that Avian X Jake. And if I had to just pick one, I'd use a Jake over the hen.
How much has using a strutter decoy improved your success in taking bigger gobblers?
Again, on the decoy thing, don't use a lot of them. You know, here's my deal. I've been filming turkey hunts forever, back when nobody was doing it and the gear was really heavy and all. And here's my take on decoys, and I don't care if you use one or not. To me, they're either all or nothing. It's like either they're going to come in there and charge that thing, or they're going to see it from 100 yards and not want anything to do with it. I don't want to take that chance. I want to be able to set up to where I can kind of make them move in there without seeing everything. Now, when they work great, they work great. And people are fanning stuff and all that now. Again, just personally, I don't do it that much.
What's your favorite way to hunt highly pressured gobblers?
My favorite way to hunt a highly pressured gobbler is literally, like where I live in Minnesota, is just to kind of sit and wait on them. Less calling, call a little bit, let them know where you're at, but as soon as they hear you, they can walk right to the blade of grass you're standing by. So, you know, I like to get a decoy out, again, and just sit still and wait on them to come, get in an area where you can see a lot of country, and just let the decoy do the work for you. Don't overcall, and just be sneaky. If you go at them, sometimes with the quarter strut decoy that you can sneak behind with no calling and keep sneaking in on them, a lot of times they'll break and come to you, especially if it's a pressured gobbler.
Man, Dave, I really enjoyed that segment of question and answers. If you're a turkey hunter and you find yourself in one of these situations, think back on the answers to these questions. It might help you kill that gobbler.
Absolutely, Jim. We've been turkey hunting a long time. We learn something every year, and we can always learn from other turkey hunters.
Hey, up next week, we're headed out with David Bunnell in North Carolina on a self-film hunt.
And then the second half of the show, if you ever wanted to learn how to start self-filming your hunts, we're going to give you some tips on how to do so.
Hey, in the meantime, be sure to follow along with us on Facebook, Instagram, subscribe to our YouTube channel and our Carbon TV channel. You can watch our hunts anytime.
And as always, thank you for watching Brothers of the Woods Outdoors.